Today we're going to make a shrub, and a shrub is also known as a drinking vinegar. It's actually an old drink, started somewhere in the Persian Empire. Various cultures have had some form of a drinking vinegar, Southeast Asian cultures, and even here in the States, in colonial America. They would take a barrel with some vinegar, throw some fruit into it, and some sort of sweetener like honey or even molasses. I call it colonial Gatorade because it's just light and refreshing. I stumbled onto them about 7-10 years ago. A bartender friend of mine turned me on to them. That's kind of where the resurgence in shrubs and drinking vinegars came from in the States. And basically you take some sort of fruit, some sugar, and vinegar. Some of the fruits that I work with are apples, citrus, ginger, berries. Berries are especially well suited for making shrubs. There's just a great combination of flavors there with the tangy sweetness of berries and the vinegar, as well as other herbs and spices like star anise and cardamom. I even have one product where I use Szechuan peppercorns. As far as vinegars, I try to use raw apple cider vinegar as much as possible, but sometimes you need a different kind of like sour profile, so I'll use balsamic vinegars, white balsamic vinegar, white wine vinegar, champagne vinegar. Making a shrub is actually quite simple. It's a simple ratio. You take 1 part fruit and 1 part sugar. And that may seem like a lot of sugar, but it's not. You got to remember that you're making a concentrate. So when you add sugar, sugar is like salt in that it draws moisture out of things. You're gonna mix that up with the berries, let that sit for anywhere between 12 hours and 2 days. And what you'll end up with is this really rich, concentrated syrup, and that's gonna constitute the base of the flavor. Once you get that, go ahead and add your vinegar. And in this case, I'm using raw apple cider vinegar. As far as vinegar goes, you use about 1/2 to 3/4 parts of vinegar to your syrup and fruit. Let that sit for another couple days, and then I will mash and squeeze the whole thing in either like a straining bag or a mesh strainer and a heavy spoon. Because I get most of my ingredients from local growers, my products are very seasonal. So right now I have an apple cardamom and the purple one here. The purple one I made in honor of Prince. Last year when I was in the kitchen experimenting, getting ready for berry season, he passed away, and I was in the kitchen like cooking and crying, and I looked up and saw the album cover, Purple Rain album cover, and on the border it had these flowers, and it had this floral tea from another vendor at the market, and I just kind of combined the two, and it worked out. I added some spice, and it ended up being my most popular shrub. The last product is English Cucumber Cooler, or English Cucumber and Meyer Lemon Elixir. And this is not a shrub, it's an elixir. The difference is that an elixir does not have vinegar in it. But the process is very, very much the same. I'm gonna make you a Bona Fide potent with the purple one today. And basically, it's a 1-to-4 ratio. It's really simple. I tend to go 1-to-5 or even 1-to-6. You get all of the flavor with less sugar. So you can enjoy this hot or cold. It tastes great either way. You can also mix this with wine or even beer to make like a shandy. And also cocktails if you fancy a cocktail. Give it a little swirl. Mix it with ice if you want to, but